In this video, I'm going to take you through a client case study where we scaled a brand from 10K per month to over 50K per month in monthly recurring revenue through their online store. I'm going to go through the exact strategy and process that we use to achieve these results, so make sure you stick around to the end of the video. If you don't know who I am already, my name is Philip. I'm one of the co-founders here at Punch. We're a performance creative and paid ads agency that works with brands ranging from 20K per month all the way up to 100K per month. So without further ado, let's jump right in. This is how we added 43,000 euros worth of monthly recurring revenue to this eCom brand using paid ads and performance user generated content. To give you an insight into where the brand was before we started working with them, this is their revenue for their online store throughout the month of January of this year. You can see that they were roughly at the 10K per month mark. Now, we started working with this brand in February, so we managed to scale their revenue over 90 days to over 50K in monthly revenue for this brand. Now, looking at that over the course of the 90 days, you can see that this brand made a total of 100,000 in revenue in comparison to what they potentially would have made only 30K without our content creation systems and paid ad strategies. So in terms of user generated content, what and why do we leverage it? Firstly, the traditional definition of user generated content is any type of content that's created by users. So this content can range in the form of text testimonials, images that users take on their social media, on their stories, on posts. But what we found due to the rise in popularity of platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels, that video user-generated content is what is most valuable to direct-to-consumer brands today. The problem that we see with a lot of the clients that we initially start with is that they struggle to source enough user-generated content in order for them to scale their organic social growth, but also their paid ads revenue. So the solution is that we leverage user-generated content creators so that they create content for our clients exactly how our clients want it. So why do we leverage this in more detail from an authenticity perspective? Well, UGC is often seen as more trustworthy than brand produced content. It's created by, showcasing products in real life situations with real users. This will often lead to higher engagement rates, more followers, and in turn, more revenue. From a community building aspect, when users create and share content related to a brand, they're not just promoting the product, they're also promoting a larger community. And this sense of community is going to encourage loyalty and encourage first time as well as repeat purchasers. From a conversions and sales aspect, with paid channels today, the creative is the most important thing. You can no longer hack Meta and test all of these different audiences that find different pockets of people that you can market your products to. Without a good creative, your ads will struggle to scale. So even the best in-house social media managers can't keep up with the number of creatives required to scale organic socials and paid ads effectively. So looking at this brand's ad account before we started working with them, you can see that they're running a total of 4 ads. Now, these ads were a mix of static images and videos created by the founder. What this brand was struggling with the most was that they were struggling to actually scale up the ad spend. So you can see that throughout the month of January, they spent a total of £573. Now, when they had tried to scale their ad spend before this, they would see a drastic drop in their return on ad spend, and the frequency of their ads was shooting up and resulting in fatigue for their ads. So while their return on ad spend was positive, they were struggling to scale throughout their time running paid ads. After we began working with them, you can see their results are, you can see their ad account here in April. What we did was we actually increased the ad spend 4 times what it was, but we also implemented a number of different user-generated content creatives. Now, you can see that while we increased the ad spend by 4x, we also increased the return on ad spend to 7.89x through that month, resulting in 16K of revenue tracked by Facebook. So what did we do that was really different? Well, firstly, what we did was we analyzed the brand sales data so that we could focus our initial creatives and campaigns on their top performing products. Again, this process is what we follow for all of our clients, and it's really the easiest way to capitalize on their best sellers and scale those ads and learn what angles and what pain points those products are solving. After we did that analysis, we conducted a deep dive into the brand during a research period. So during this point, we learned everything from just understanding the brand in more detail, evaluating competitors, and really building that creative foundation by analyzing what content has worked well for them on their social media in the past, what ads and creatives and angles have worked well for them in their paid channels. And then finally, the most important aspect of this research period is that we built out a number of user personas related to the brand. Now, these acted as a base that we could create angles and solve different problems with our content that we created later in the process. So what we did after that was we ideated 7 different user-generated content scripts by using trusted frameworks that we've used in the past. The thing about creating content that is going to be used for paid ads is you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you work with a new client or every time you want to find a new marketing angle. You can apply your marketing angle to a trusted framework, something like a testimonial, a story brand framework, and just test how that performs to see whether you can scale it in the future. After that, once we had ideated and created a number of different scripts using these frameworks, we then briefed a number of creators and managed the creative process to ensure that they created the content in the way that we wanted them to. And once they did that, we obviously got the client to review them. And if they were happy with them, if they were happy with them, we would then launch them on their social media accounts, but also launch them on their paid ad channels. So we ran these creatives as conversion ads to cold audiences throughout the initial 3 months working with this client. The brand obviously got to post them on their socials, and they grew organically as a result of that. So throughout the initial 3 months of working with this client, we obviously monitored the performance of each creative and iterated on the winning angles and frameworks that we found. So not every piece of content that we create will work well as an ad, but it's just about testing that and doubling down on what type of angles, marketing angles and frameworks are working well for us. So the process, again, that I just went through is illustrated here. So again, starting with researching and defining your campaign objective and then moving towards the content creation process. So you develop and edit your scripts, source UGC creators, brief creators, and then review the content that they create. If the creators send content to us that we don't think is up to standard or we'd like to change something, we can manage that process and just request a revision for these creators. And then it's simply a case of reviewing the content again. And then after that, once we're happy with the content, we got the client to give that final approval. Once approval is made, it's just a case of launching these ads, monitoring their performance, and just optimizing them from day to day. So this is ensuring that the right audiences are chosen, testing different forms of copy on the ads. And then if the ad is really performing, we'll begin to scale that, but iterate it in a way that we test different hooks, different call to actions, different voiceovers and things like that in order to scale that ad or creative over time. So if a creative isn't performing and we need a new angle or a new creative, we simply analyze past data and look at why it didn't perform and try and base our next content creation process on that, and really just start the whole process again and source new scripts, source new creators, and really we're just managing that entire process. So why would you work with Punch Media? So if you want to add $20,000 to $50,000 of profit per month to your brand using performance, user-generated content and paid ads, then we can help you do that. If we don't deliver these results within 90 days, then you don't have to pay us. You can pay for as many creatives as you like, and what we'll do is we'll manage the entire creative process. All you have to do is send your products to the creators that we source, and they will create the content. We charge purely on performance of our creatives, so our fees are just 8% of return on ad spend minus your ad spend costs. And we're not going to hold you into any long-term agreements. It's just a 30-day rolling period that you can leave whenever you like. So if you want to hear more, then you can book a free strategy session with us. During this session, we will get more of an insight into your brand and give you some actionable steps on what you can take to improve it. At the end of the call, you can also get a free ad account audit, but also we can audit your current content creation strategy to give you some tips and quick actions that you can take to improve. Looking forward to speaking with you all, and thanks very much for watching.